We're going to be playing Super Octopus today, and I don't think I've played for like a week basically at this point, so it's going to be brand new and frisky. We're wearing almost fedoras, but maybe not quite, so I'm not sure exactly what the cringe level here is, but not too bad. I haven't seen the weekly. I'm going to resist the urge to click on the weekly button. We're going to go placed purely off like instinct, which currently is all geese. It's nice to feel good, but suck to go back to work. Kind of like how when you're a kid and sometimes you kind of just wish that you could be sick because then you could just not go to work. Bumbling stinkers, bearded fishes, obtuse healers. Obtuse fishes? We are fishes. We have at least one fish. One fiosh, you could say. I remember when I got COVID for the first time, which obviously COVID is like a really suck thing and it's like really horrible for people who like possibly could be strongly affected by it. But I'm in decent health, so the first time that I got COVID, it was kind of stinky for the first 2 days, but then I just didn't have to go to work for like a week. So for me, it was kind of fun because most of that I was feeling mostly okay. I was just contagious. And it was pretty jank the way that I got it too, because I had to walk through like 2 feet of snow in order to get to work that day because it was a sudden snowfall. And basically everyone else who worked at the place that I worked, which was a grocery store, everyone else called out because nobody wanted to go through the suddenly intense quantity of snow that cars could like barely get through. So I was like the only person working. That's a pigeon, excuse me, sir. Stock 1 free breadcrumb. Okay, there's new things happening inside the game. But on the other hand, there was 1 billion customers inside the grocery store because everyone was like, oh crap, suddenly snow, let's stock up on food. And everyone who was gonna work there was like, oh crap, suddenly snow, I ain't going to work. So it was me and 1 other cashier with people through the aisles worth of lineage. And I was there for like 8 hours straight. And by the end of it, the whole point was that while I was working, I was feeling not great. And I was thinking to myself, man, I think that I might actually sure to be sick. What is a hair? Copy food perk from 1 random enemy. Works 1 time per battle. 1 random enemy. I guess that is very tier 3 of you. That doesn't seem like especially stunningly amazing, but it is something. You know what could be cool though? This guy. I kind of like the team that we have, but maybe I know we're called the fish, but what if you were the worst thing on my team and I did that instead? I mean, I personally think that's kind of a cool idea. What's a breadcrumb? Give 1 pet plus 1 attack. Well, that's just like a really cruddy apple. It's just a crumb of bread. I mean, honestly, food, I guess that's fine. And this guy's new. This looks more like kind of like a half-size kangaroo than a hare to me, honestly. But I was feeling sick all through my shift. And then at the 8-hour mark, I was like, hey, tell everyone in line behind the next person that I gotta go. So you guys need to get in the other line. And some old lady came up to me and she was like, we have been waiting in this line for like so long. You're just gonna leave? And I was like, yes, actually I'm sick, and also I've been here for 8 hours and my breaks were really late because there's no one here. And then I went home and I had COVID. So honestly, I was doing her a favor by not staying for the remainder of my like 2-hour-long freaking grocery line. So that was the first time I had COVID, and then I got a break for like a week, so that was kind of nice. I didn't know what to make of the hair. It seems fine. I mean, you can't really ever trust that the enemy's gonna have a food. And if they did, I feel like this guy really would only ever shine, specifically if the enemy had food that was rare, like a peanuts, but they would have to have it at the start before attack. So this guy could inherit a peanuts from the enemy, which is a late game thing. In the early game, you could just buy the food yourself. Like, who cares? If you, like, the enemy has a freaking cherry. Like, you could have a cherry, so just have a cherry. I guess we're just gonna go for levels. Honestly, I wasn't paying super attention. Okay, I'm gonna look. Bison? There is no bison. The life is lame. We're not gonna do big geese. I'm sorry. I know that's everyone's dream. This actually can happen tomorrow. Just spiders, honestly, better than you. Moving people is kind of fun, but copy the food perk. I guess him being in the back actually does make the most sense, because if someone's gonna have a food perk, my brain says at this point it would be like a bee. I don't think there are bees. You guys have nothing. You're wasting my space, making my animals seem kind of jank. His stats are decent, I guess. A 3-4 for a tier 3. I'm not sure exactly how good that actually is, but it feels fine given the rest of my team's kind of stanky. No! What, did I do that? That was a spider, not my fault. Flying squirrel at level 2. Kind of a flex. I just have levels with a bunch of dudes who don't super matter. Have you considered being afraid? A hippo. Well, I have heard tale that having a hippo is the win. So I'm just gonna have to trust that. I can't afford you. How much do I care? I'm not- there is honey, so that guy being in the back technically was a decent concept in terms of actually planning and hoping it worked. It didn't work, but that's whatever. That's a statted guy. Who here? Who here? The worm? Okay, the worm is giving the stats and that dude, but he's not even leveled yet. He's not even giving anything. He's just like claiming he is. We win. Victors. We've only lost one, but we've won thricely. That is not too shabby. I wish you could be leveled. I think that you should actually be further ahead. I don't know why I put you there. You're gonna be 4th in line. Seems decent enough. I would like scaling, and it's like, a 3-3 dog is pretty tasty. Not for consumption, but for concepts. But the spider is gonna level, and this guy is already leveled. Honestly, this guy take an attack away kind of makes it seem like you should be up front, because then he won't get killed with the garlic. Like, that's a synergy. But I like the ant as a part. Like, the ant is just a good dude. He's holding a cherry. He's got food. I don't want to level today. I will level tomorrow. I do want scaling. You know what? I'm sorry, Ant. You're like actually the best guy. You're probably, in terms of everyone, I could have bought the dude who is more likely to stay to the end of the game because his ability is just that freaking fly, but Grim Reaper in space, illogical. Science and death does not mix. Wait, no, that's actually, it's not a Grim Reaper. It's a guy who does doctor things. It makes perfect sense for him to be in space because he is scientific. You suck, and where was my hippo? Where was my hippo? Goofing off in the back of Nowheresville? That guy ate everything on my entire life. He didn't even have a garlic. He just had a level 2 giraffe. I have a level 1 giraffe. That's kind of close. Hungry hippo. My hungry hippo needs to frickin'... He's on a diet or something, but he needs to get it on, dude. Come on. Eat more, guys. Simply eat more chicken. Chicken is vital. Eat them more. The best thing in the world is when this guy exists and then we can play him, especially because I have such little love for anyone on the team right now that I'm not even gonna be mad to sell like everyone for it. So you can go and all of a sudden we have $1 billion. No, actually we don't. It felt like we should have had more. You guys can both have a tool first and then you can replace, we're doing a set of things. And I still want you to have this, and you can have this before we get more stats. I think this matters. It's gonna be a baby orangutan, so I'm not really sure if this is gonna get us the win. There's not a lot of stats on the enemy team right now. The hippo's gonna frickin' eat something tonight. Happy congratulations. He's gonna eat everything tonight. The golden retriever, in fact, helped my team, thank you. They are man's best friend, specifically the golden retriever of dogs. I think is like the happiest dog you could possibly have. So the fact that he helped us is kind of like on nature. Another one! The other dude was also quite nice, but this is the only way to live, I'm pretty sure. Anteater could be temporary. You also are just a thing I could buy, sell, and then get a free roll out of. I don't think you're good. Well... I changed my mind. On the first 2 turns, I think he's quite nice, and he's quite round, which does make me feel like we should have positive emotions toward him. He looks very huggable, kind of like a plushie. You would think, when is the Super Auto Pets team gonna start making plushies, but I think that that might be illegal, because aren't these all literally just emojis from, like, existing things? They've been switching them out. The plushies would basically just be webkins, because they'd just be, like, normal animals, but you could put the derpy, like, little black eyes on them, make them kind of creepy, and then they'd be like, yep, that's definitely Super Auto Pets. These guys have no souls. I'm like, damn, you haven't been leveled this whole time? And then I'm like, oh, should I even bother at this point? But I think it's Thoroy. I don't really care about order, do I? I never really think that this guy is that good, but I don't care about the order a ton, such that he might actually be viable. I don't even know why I have the anteater up front. He's like gonna ditch an ant. Thank you for doing that. That's actually gonna solve the one problem I was having. That's fine. Wait, he only summoned 1 ant. Did he change? That orangutan is too strong for this world. I thought he summoned 2 ants by default. Are you summoning 1 level 3 ant? Okay, well, that's not exactly what I was hoping for, but it actually happens to be good for me. Nothing? Actually, a toy would have been cool, but we're not doing that right now. Activate a buy ability or give +3 health. I appreciate this. because we always had a lack of stat foods ever since they added a bajillion tools. I kind of feel like it would be cool if most of the just tool things had something that was like, or do that. I guess that probably wouldn't work for most of them, but that's very nice, because otherwise this thing was a waste of time. And now they can put it in all the weeklies and not just the ones with good buy abilities. That's some good logic right there. One turn toy or this thing? You have decent toys, right? Maybe like a temporary melon. Frontmost dude gets melon in a few turns. That on my monkey is going to go amazingly. I accept. I have $1. I have $0. Nobody does buy things, it's fine. The stat gain is not strong, but also I think the hippo and the macaw don't really need it to be strong. That guy's like inherently strong. He doesn't need like to work out or anything. I don't know what that was. Were we summoning something? The orangutan gave birth to something that flew off the screen immediately. I don't think a rat. It was probably a rat. I don't know if I've seen a rat on the team. That's the only thing I can think of that would have given birth like that. You may level. Tomorrow, this guy will... I actually don't know. No, it breaks at the beginning of the turn, so I can decide, no, I won't. You're gonna shuffle it and some random ass person's gonna get that melon. All right. That's probably fine. And in which point you're like, maybe I should actually... I could consider switching him out for him because he's not leveled yet and it's like vaguely better. If I do it now, I can give someone $50. I think it's worth. You just happen to never be put up front. If you could just do that for me, that would be so swell. Simply do not. It's the worst. He's gonna get the melon. That's like literally the thing I wanted least in the world. You can't eat. No. Yeah. The stork is too powerful. Nobody likes him that much. I mean, I love playing him, but not against him. Is this weekly super great because just the animals are fun? Because, like, that sucks, but I guess you're in the team now. It's random, right? So me moving him back there is not going to change the likelihood of him being put up front again. Big Hippo, never seen that before? My god. The technology, since when? Why did you tell me that Hippo could be large? I've just got this sweet baby Hippo that does nothing. I would like to do this with someone, but, like, nobody wants it. Nobody wants my sweet foods. Yeah, that's awesome. I should have probably been focusing on leveling you more than anything else longer up until this point, but that's fine. Don't put him up front. Anytime the Cobra's not up front is an ideal. The Hippo is not strong enough to commit murders anymore. He's just not strong enough. If you were to eat one of these animals, which would be your favorite and which would you hate? Out of the ones in my thing, well, two of them are monkeys, if you count that guy as being a thing that exists. Yes, Stinker! That guy has too many frickin' summons. He didn't even have a dog, did he? Gross. Gross, gross, gross. This is a snake. People eat snakes, right? That's a real food. I guess I've never... I have sensitivity in terms of textures with things that are blubbery. So I feel like I would despise the hippo because it looks so blubbery in my brain. So I think I would like... This is a lizard. People eat lizards and snakes. I've not tried it. I would eat anything once. I don't share that. I'm such a picky eater, but to be fair, I think I was born with it, so not my fault. Are you all tier 4 or higher? They are. Look at these sweet-ass pretzels. It feels really gross to say that the monkey might be the true answer in terms of which might taste best, assuming it doesn't taste or smell anything like a person, in which case that's nasty. Stop being in the front. You're not using your abilities. You still killed the elephant, which is crazy. Is this the best thing that could have happened for us? No! You terrible ant. The worst thing ever. I just bought some gator jerky to try. That doesn't even sound legal. Who offered you this gator jerky? Did you get it from Florida Man? Because he isn't legally allowed to sell anything in all of the states besides Florida, so you best be in there. Hell on, not the monkey. He's too cute. Are we going based off cuteness? That seems like kind of a biased way to go about this. Okay, he has like 3 stats now. If you could just get out there and do things, move. Thank God. Thank goodness. He gets at least 1 use of his ability. That's gonna change the world. And it was perfect. You have a fly of stink. To be fair though, I kind of think the cutest dude on my team right now is the snake. I don't really love reptilians all that much, but the monkeys are too people-y. But the snake, look how derpy he doesn't even have a mouth. That's simplicity in its finest. Have a taco. We're basically just doing stats, so that sucks. Oh, I forgot we actually could be leveling too. The concept of leveling, it has not passed me by. There's not a whole lot of buy sells, is there? Let's go all the way. This turn decides the universe. If we win, the universe is ours. If we lose, the universe explodes. It's either ours or death. I've only had this team for 5 seconds, and if anything happened to it, I would kill everyone inside this room. Stop putting my snake in front. No. Oh, they can't have an effective snake. Maybe I should put the snake behind my dragon. Maybe I shouldn't have a dragon anymore. Doesn't even matter. The adorable monkey squad wins for the 5th billionth time because it's like the best animal. In terms of Pokemon, I normally go for the one that is either coolest or cutest. In the past, it was all about power. In the modern day, because Pokemon is so easy and I realize it really doesn't matter what you use, I'm like, absolute, let's just go for the cutest dudes because like, there's literally no reason not to. Stats, and also technically stats. Oh, you have to get sold to do that. Kinda jank. You know what? A golden retriever will save these birds. We're in Candyland, we're wearing flowers, we're basically fairies. Scyther was a badass, yeah. I like his evolution form more, though. What's his evolution form? Scyther? I know who he is, and then his ball form is the red guy, but I don't remember what his name is. On that note, the ground form of Scyther's evolution that they recently added in a new generation, that thing was ugly as hell. Some of the new Pokemon don't even look like, they don't look like animals, but they also don't look like real things. They kind of just look like really janky, like a really not great 3D modeler. Just kind of made a thing, and they were like, this looks kind of like an ugly toy, let's stick that in there. Scizor, he's amazing, and the ground type thing evolution is Garbo. Backwards blunders, boasty monks, moody posers. Moody posers. They're moody because they're always on edge that someone's gonna figure them out, but they don't actually like the things they say. Are there any non-Pokemon animals in the world of Pokemon? Yeah, there's like a bajillion. There's like at least 3 Pokemon vaguely based off of Pokeballs. There's a bunch of plants, which is the most obvious thing. There's one that's based off a keychain. There's one that's based off a rusty anchor. He's like a grass steel type, I think, though, which is kind of an interesting combination. Or is he water steel? He might be water steel. I think he's got some rust on him, which I guess isn't actually a plant, so that doesn't actually help my argument at all. I was gonna sell this bird at some point. He's gonna stick around. Garbodor is literally a bag of garbage, both mentally and physically. He is kind of cute in his first form, but then he evolves and people are like, jank. I was willing to take care of one bag of garbage, but a literal mountain inside my house, just not really what I'm gonna vibe with. Magikarp is a fish. Like animals that just animals and not Pokemon. Oh! Yes, there is one scene where they're underwater, and there's normal-ass fish. Technically, in terms of law, no, there were no normal animals, but occasionally in the old anime, they occasionally showed, like, just a regular animal on screen accidentally. There was definitely default-shaped fish in the background of something at some point. I'm pretty sure they've also eaten default fish before. But mostly it's just because they don't want to make it seem like they're eating Pokemon, because that sounds like really sad. So they occasionally let them cook dishes that like don't technically have a Pokemon looking thing in there, but it's like, where did you get that? Where did these actual fish come from? Kind of feel like they just should have made everyone vegetarian from the start, but you know, that would be really boring in terms of making cuisines. Oh, our team is like really sucky. Our team is a little less sucky, but still pretty freaking sucky. I gotta do some actual leveling. I was putting it off, and now I want to put it off another turn, because, like, look how close we are to turn 5. What a waste of my freaking time. I can sell this guy at this point, you're jank. That looks ucky. It said breadcrumbs. This appears to be one entire piece of bread, and then some giant-ass pieces of bit off that. This is like half of a loaf of bread right here. They were eating Pokemon all along. They eat Slowbro tails. That's one flavorful thing. I think the main problem is that Pokemon seem to have feelings and stuff. So you might be like, is it okay for us to be consuming all of these things? Some people would say no. Some people would definitely say no. Swordland Green reveal. That's the end of Pokemon. They have like at least one more season going because they introduced like the new protagonist, but after that the end's gonna be like, wait a second. I was cool with eating Slowbros because they're so stupid. You're telling me that we're eating Miltanks? Solid actual like cows and stuff, we're eating that jank? They're not Dugtrio, sounds like it would be a great meal. Does it? Because it looks like a giant worm, so Perhaps. Perhaps you could consume those things. I want to conjoin my spiders into one queen spider. Okay, something awesome. I was gonna say like a hippo, wouldn't that be hilarious? But actually a skunk is very nice too. Some people be saying that skunk needs to be nerfed at some point in time, and it's crazy that he like never has been. But actually, he's the only thing making it so that stat guys are not the death of the universe. So you gotta appreciate the skunk's ability to be here. You suck? Less than you used to? That's still a decent amount of stats you're giving. No, my spider had to win against this guy. No, wait, I'm doing that too. Joke's on you, we're twins. No! Oh, it was like it was a- No, frick, I thought we drew. That was a millisecond away from being like just lucky enough for things to happen. Charizard the Pokemon that can cook itself? All fire types. Well, I guess that would mean that fire types are immune to being consumed. If they're all immune to fire. But fire types aren't immune to fire. They're immune to their own fire. So you could still cook a fire type. So that would be fine, I think. I think a lot of the fire types are based off of things you wouldn't really want to eat. I feel like water types are more kind of our jazz right now. Torchic spicy chicken sandwich. So many people would be vague, so intensely upset at the concept. You just need a hotter fire to cook them. Just use lava. That just makes every fire type just an intense delicacy then, because of just the pure quantity of effort that needs to go into actually being capable of eating one. I do want both these guys. I still think that this guy's neat, but maybe not. Oh, there is an elephant. Frick, have we fought the elephant plus guinea fowl combo yet? Because that's like the death of everything. Somebody can have this. You can have this. You may have a rice thing. I'm gonna sell you, but I'll keep that for later. I realize it's donating 1 gold to take it for later, and I don't know if that's necessarily like... No, he's my best dude! That's the only guy on my team who does things. He's a bee now. Doorhead ant too strong. Nerf required. It's not gonna look good. Their dog is better than our dog. Whoa. The math almost mathed just then. It didn't, because it's a failure in life, but it was almost cool. We're gonna follow up the last game with some stinky Garbo. Unfortunate situations are happening here. Maybe you freeze the fire Pokemon and it's like frozen dessert or ice cream. Yeah, but then you gotta blend it. Let's not get too gruesome. We don't have to go too far into the concept of like chopping them up perhaps, but blending them, they're too cute for that. Think of the pets. Think of the animals. I want to buy a toy, but I just don't really want to sell anybody. Like, you're doing stuff, and that guy's doing stuff. I kind of still wish this guy was on the team. Maybe I should have switched. The only thing I kind of want to get rid of my scaling. You know what? F scaling. Who needs scaling when you could have a melon armor in a few turns? And also 2 skunks. They never expected the 2 skunk inquisition. And that guy's gonna level. Wait. This looks nice. You can be last. I don't think the team looks bad. I think the team looks quite nice and dandy, so if it doesn't win, then I kind of think it's like, who's doing this action? Because it ain't me. You're gonna be really horrible for us? Nope, you actually have baby stats? You needed 1 less stats than what you currently had. It's crazy fine. Our 2nd win of the world. We're not freaking dead yet. And I would like you to get that, so you have to be first this turn. This is a level, quite nice and dandy. I will not take these things. Plus, if you choose a game where people know the game, and it's like a turn-based game, you can be like, I don't know what to do here, and just wait for someone to tell you what to do. It's called allowing backseaters, and some people really jive with that. Okay, let's continue actually playing the games, though. A job hunting thing is difficult and suck, but that's how it is. I'm lucky enough that I have enough savings that I can actually keep going without it. The rooster is here, and so is the turkey. You guys love each other so much that I wish you weren't competing for my love right now. I would take you both. Oh, but the turkey would have been good for my spider. Wait, I don't have a team! Oh, frick. I stopped paying attention long enough to not even realize I don't even have a team. It's fine. We're not gonna die today. We're not gonna die today. Who needs living? Who in these strong-ass pigeons keeps coming in here? Have you considered 3 golden retriever? How do you exist? How do you exist? A 4-4 ox? Oh, it's the stink. That's not my fault. That was the practice round post the win round. We got to cool down a little bit post the win round.